Okay, everyone. How are we doing? Give me another minute or two. Setting up the Zoom. You're already. Let me know when you join here so I can get you set up. Hello, everybody. Let me grab my tablet so that I can get my notes for the fellowship tonight and the Constitution. Give me 1 minute. Yes, that's fine. That's fine. Uh, okay, let me connect you. I need to make you. Oh, that's what it is. Chat. Okay. Why is it not?
What's the matter, Betty? What do you want me to do?
Moderator.
Oh. I think because on mine it says there's no host.
Unless it has to be more than just the two of us. And that's when others join in.
Okay, I think I figured it out.
Okay. So good evening, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Now, just wanted to make sure I had my notes.
It's being weird. You want me to just make myself host because it's
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I don't know what your code is then. Let me see. It says it's a 6-digit code.
Okay. Every once in a while, today we had issue with an update. And so just getting going here. Anyway, is there anything that anyone had jotted down that you would like to cover, that you'd like to touch on tonight before we begin? Anyone? Can you all hear me okay on the stream, the live stream on YouTube? Okay. All right. All right. Good evening. I have, okay. Good evening. I have an example, a model constitution that I'm going to go over tonight. It's going to be rather quick. I'm not going to go over the one that I've been working on for our organization. I don't want to give anybody a false impression. I don't want to give anyone the idea that we are under a new constitution. I don't want to give anybody the idea that we're taking over anything. We're not. The board of directors was simply elected as an emergency type situation, because this is indeed that. Everything that we are doing, we're doing by the book. Everything that we're doing by the law. And there's many people that I've seen in comments, as well as emails, as well asking questions in regards to, well, what does this mean? How are we able to do what it is that we're doing? And for the most part, I've put these things in various videos. And with that said, because these things are already in various videos, I haven't been spending a whole lot of time answering those questions. I'm simply letting everybody know to go to the videos so that you can get the information that's there waiting. In regards to the board of directors that has been elected, there has been questions as to what was the process, what are the qualifications. There are a lot of people right now interested in helping in some way, shape, or form, asking what it is that's available. We can cover that too after we go through the Constitution. But once again, this Constitution is simply a model. It is an example of what a Constitution and bylaws should look like, what it should entail, and what it should say. For the last time, what I have been working on, I have two. One has been forwarded to, for some people to take a look at. The board of directors, we're going to be having our first meeting this coming week. We still have to schedule that. That'll be scheduled by tomorrow. That said, we want to get ready to get started so that we can put things into place, and they will already be ready whenever we're needing them to be in place. If no one has any questions before we begin, I'm going to go ahead and get started talking about the idea of a new constitution. Now, there's going to be several things if this all goes the way that I'm anticipating that it will go. There'll be several things that our members have no knowledge of whatsoever, because we did not have these things made available to us, which for the most part are also available to most other organizations. Anyway, Constitution and bylaws of our organization, United House of Prayer for All People. Good evening. Good evening. The Constitution Article 1, the name. Right now, our name is the name of this organization, United House of Prayer for All People of the Church on the Rock of the Apostolic Faith. Number 2, the purpose. The purpose will not be the same, again, if all of these things go the way that I anticipate. One second. Okay. The purpose. This, again, is a model that I'm reading from. So I'm just going to, again, read straight through this. This is not what it is that we're going to be doing. However, some of this language could be utilized. The purpose, to promote the apostolic faith, according to Acts 2:38. 2, to support and unite 137 congregations in doctrine, fellowship, and evangelistic mission. That number may change. We may have a few less than 137. We might be right there, might be a couple more. To license, ordain, and regulate ministers. To provide national leadership for administration, missions, and doctrinal integrity. The purpose is clearly defined. It is specific to what it is that you are going to be doing as an organization. Our purpose for the House of Prayer is not being fulfilled at all. So it leaves one to assume that something was slapped there just for the sake of having something put there. But the purpose is not, being followed. Now, I don't want to get into a lot of pointing the finger at the organization and what it is that we have. And I'm not going to take too much time talking about the current Constitution, because right now we're dealing with four. We're dealing with 4 constitutions. Now, even though you all do not understand what that means, simply put, there is a 2025 Constitution. There is a 2024 Constitution. There's a 2023 Constitution. There's a 2022 Constitution. And prior to that, there's a 2009. I've been saying that we are going to operate under the 2009 or older, because the older the Constitution is, the more likely it is that it's closest to the original, where there was no tampering. Every Constitution that we have had for over 50 years has been tampered with. And as a result, it makes it illegal. It's simply null and void in the eyes of the court. And you all are going to see this going forward. There's individuals that do not think that I have an understanding or a grasp of what it is that I'm talking about. And there's individuals that think that none of this is going to come to pass. All I'm saying is everybody continue standing by, keep watching, and you will see exactly how this whole thing unfolds. But I'm going to just work my way all the way through the Constitution now. And if you have any questions, just jot them down, and we will come back to those questions. Article 3, doctrinal statement. This is a statement as it pertains to the doctrine of the organization that we believe in or that we proclaim. It is a doctrinal statement. The organization affirms the oneness of the Creator, salvation through repentance, baptism in the name of the Son, infilling of the Holy Spirit with tongues, holy living, and the apostolic pattern of ecclesiastical governance. Changes require the two-step proposal process and approval of a three-quarter vote of the General Assembly. The language is specific. It is clear. It is written. It's in black and white. That way it cannot be misunderstood. It cannot be confused. It is in the Constitution. And as a result, that's what must be followed. Membership, Article 4, should have a section. Membership includes all congregations officially received and adhering to apostolic doctrine and the Constitution and bylaws of the organization. Clear cut, plain and simple. Article 5, governing structure. The organization is governed by the General Assembly, the supreme legislative authority. The General Assembly, not the bishop's office. One person does not rule, run, or operate the organization. It is illegal to have an organization set up to where one person has complete autonomy. I'm going to say that again. It is illegal to have an organization set up with where one person has complete autonomy. And if you would, I will show it to you. But let's continue. Good evening. General Assembly is the supreme legislative authority. Second to the General Assembly, Board of Directors, the chief administrative, fiduciary, and oversight authority. Fiduciary means they have obligations to the organization and its members. And they are obligated, to have oversight over the entire organization, including every single position, including bishops. 3, chairman of the board, the presiding officer of the board. That is your board president, then vice president, then secretary, then treasurer, and so on and so forth. 4 offices. After the treasurer is the regional representatives of the board, and then we have board members at large. That's what we currently have on our board of directors, which will be 15 seats large. Article 6, amendments. Amendments require the two-step proposal process and a 2/3 majority vote of the General Assembly. Cut and dry, plain and simple, straightforward. Good evening, sir. Straightforward. Amendments require the two-step proposal process, meaning it must go through every proposal must go through the local houses. And then if it passes, then go forward to the General Assembly. Up until this point in time, we've been dealing with proposals that has been allowed into the General Assembly by General Assembly secretaries unlawfully, illegally, without going through the houses. Again, it makes it all unlawful. The court will not respect it. It's here, black and white, cut and dry. This is how the Constitution is going to be. Now, let me say this also about the Constitution. It will not go into effect. The Constitution will not go into effect without the members having the opportunity to look at it, to discuss it, and to even have input. The new Constitution coming up, every member will have that opportunity. For everything that we do, the members will be notified in advance and given the opportunity to participate. Bylaws, Article 1, Board of Directors. This board shall consist of 15 members, including President, Chair, Vice President, Vice Chair, General Secretary of the board, General Treasurer of the board, regional representatives of the board, board members at large, (15 seats total). Section 2 of the bylaws, authority. The board of directors is the highest administrative authority, period. In most organizations, if not every, what you're going to find is the board is the highest thing there. The bishop does not have autonomy. He does not rule over everything in the organization. I cannot stress that enough. The board of directors shall, number 1, govern all national operations, departments, and ministries. Number 2, exercise final oversight over the bishop, executive offices, and subcommittees. Number 3, the board of directors shall approve budgets, financial policies, and property acquisitions, the purchasing of properties, as well as the sale of properties, as well as modifications of properties. Number 4, hire, evaluate, discipline, and dismiss executive officers, including the bishop. Establish policies governing credentialing, ethics, and discipline. They shall have the authority to, number 6, fill vacancies in national offices in between general assemblies. They shall have the authority to appoint, if necessary, to fill a vacancy in the event that a vacancy opens prior to another general assembly being held. Section 3, chairman of the board. Number 1, the chairman presides over board meetings. The chairman is the chief administrative officer of the organization. The chairman sets agendas, supervises committees, and ensures compliance with bylaws. Ensures compliance with bylaws. That is the number 1 responsibility of the chairman of the board. The board of directors' number 1 responsibility is to make sure that everything in their organization is compliant to the laws, their own laws, the laws of the land, as well as the laws regulating them as a 501c3 or a nonprofit organization. Number 4, the chairman has authority to require reporting from the bishop, executive officers, and subcommittees. Section 4, terms, lengths of time that individuals are in positions. Terms. Board members serve 4-year terms and can be elected back into position or other positions and serve a maximum of 3 terms with a staggered expiration, meaning the entire board will not be open and available to have elections at the same time. Staggering mean a few individuals coming to the end of their term and having a vote to elect them back or others into office, while the other remaining seats are still open. So throughout the terms, you should have re-elections coming up for board members periodically, but whenever there's a re-election, you should be seeing an election take place with a few, not more than 3 board members should be dealing with an election at any given time. Section 5, vacancies. Vacancies are filled by board appointment. The board of directors can appoint someone to fill a vacancy until the next General Assembly comes for confirmation. Now, let me say this. If it is in black and white, they have the power to do it. If it's not in black and white, it's questionable whether or not they can do it. Now, we've been getting away with a lot of things in the organization because they've been doing many, 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 many different things that's not written anywhere in black and white. That was one of the problems that we had in the recording that we did, where we saw the leader and the council fining individual members. We've had members fined for $10,000. This is illegal. $5,000, $10,000, whatever they want to make up. This is illegal. There's nothing in any law that gives the right or the authority for any person, anywhere, or any group within the entire organization to be able to issue a fine to any of its members to that capacity. Our fines are limited. If anything, they go up to $100. And it's supposed to be in writing, black and white, what authorizes them to fine a person for. If there's no rule that says you can be fined for XYZ, then you cannot be fined for XYZ. Fines are supposed to be accepted by the members, individual members, who vote for those fines to be put into place to enforce the laws that they also vote on. If they didn't vote on a law, you can't make them pay a fine for a law that they broke. If they didn't vote for that fine, you can't make them pay for a law, pay a fine that they did not agree to. There's so many things that's being done that's out of order and outside the law that we are looking at to bringing everything into alignment with the laws of the land and dismissing so many things and shady practices that's been going on. Article 2, the bishop. Section 1, role, R-O-L-E. R-O-L-E. What are his responsibilities? What role does he play? What authority does he have? How much power does he wield? That's all supposed to be in black and white for every single position. If it's not in black and white, it's questionable. And for this reason, I've asked over and over again this year, what are the responsibilities of that particular office? Well, the role, according to just an example, we have written out clearly defined qualifications, criteria, characteristics, and eligibility for the responsibilities of a bishop. It should be clearly written out so that the members understand. And the number one reason why it needs to be written out is because the bishop has been carrying the title of CEO. A CEO is supposed to be evaluated. Well, when have you seen our CEO evaluated? So again, this is an issue. Section 1 role. The bishop serves as the primary spiritual overseer, the guardian of the doctrine. He serves as a member of the executive committee. The bishop is subject to the authority of the board of directors, the executive offices, and the executive subcommittees in all administrative, policy, and operational matters. Josh says, just like when you set up an auxiliary in the house of prayer, you can vote on what your fines will be. Exactly. Then how the heck do we have bishops and chairmen giving out fines for hundreds or even thousands of dollars? Right. They're making it up as they go along. And the problem is people have been paying these fines, or they've been accepting a penalty on these fines. And they said, well, if you ask for mercy, well, we'll extend mercy, and they'll take it off down to 10%. But all of it, it's just, all of it has been illegal, and they've been getting away with this stuff for the longest time. But I'm reading this Constitution to allow you all to understand this is what it's supposed to look like. Clearly defined rules, policy, and procedure. Section 2. I said I wasn't going to do that. That's why I stopped. Section 2, duties. Duties. The duties of the bishop is to provide spiritual instruction and doctrinal teaching. 1, to lead ministerial development and pastoral training. 2, to assist the board of directors in the disciplinary processes. That was 3. 4, to carry out ministerial oversight according to the board's policy. 5, submit reports to the board of directors and the executive committee. 6, serve in an advisory capacity on national initiatives. These are the responsibilities of the bishop. Clearly defined, written out responsibilities. Section 3, election. 1, candidates are nominated by the board or a petition of 20% of licensed ministers. Right? So again, right, like a bond. Josh said, in the court, whenever they issue a fine, they extend mercy if you don't have it all, and you can pay a percentage of it. And this is what he's getting at, like a bond. For individuals who pay that fine bond, the purpose of the bond is just to make sure that you're going to come back to court that you're not going to pop up out of state. The election. Candidates are nominated by the board or a petition of 20% of licensed ministers. 2, the bishop is elected by 2/3 vote of the General Assembly. 3, term of office, which is a huge deal in the house of prayer because there is no term of office for the bishop. It's been for the period of his natural life. Well, the law says that cannot be. It's illegal. You cannot have somebody in either an elected position or a hired position over a nonprofit for the period of their natural life. It's illegal. The term of office, 6 years. Renewable one time. 6 years. Not forever until they die. 6 years. Number 4, accountability and removal. The bishop is accountable to the board. The bishop may be suspended or removed by a 2/3 vote of the board and a 3/4 confirmation vote of the General Assembly. Now, this is an example of how it can be set up. This is not etched in stone. So you're involving the 2-step process. Most organizations don't have a 2-step process. They only have one. The board of directors, who hire and fire, period. The body of congregations are a part of the elections process in some of these organizations. The grounds for dismissal or termination include doctrinal deviation, deviating from, going off track from the doctrines of the scripture, immoral conduct, financial misconduct, or violation of board policy, which means breaking the law. Any of the laws being broken, they can now be dismissed. Now, again, this is a huge issue because we're here because ours have broken laws and are doing everything they can to keep from being held accountable. And this is why all of this is necessary and why we're doing it. Article 3, executive offices. Section 1, composition. Executive offices include General Secretary of the Board, General Treasurer of the Board, National Directors, Missions, Education, Church Growth Directors, additional officers also established by the Board. Section 2, authority. Executive officers have the authority, number 1, to report directly to the board through the chairman. They oversee daily operations, administration, and national programs. 3, carry out board mandates and policies. 4, supervise national staff. They supervise national staff. Section 3, hiring and dismissal. Number 1, executive officers are hired by 2/3 vote of the board. Number 2, they may be dismissed by the same vote, 2/3 vote. 3, annual performance reviews are mandatory. Annual performance reviews. This includes the bishop. How else will an organization know whether or not somebody is doing a thorough job if they're not evaluated? How can you have anybody in a position year after year after year after year if that person is not being evaluated? This is the purpose of evaluations. Article 9, executive subcommittees. Section 1, purpose to carry out specialized ministry and administrative functions. There's several that the subcommittee is going to have under their belt. Section 2, examples. Finance and audit subcommittee. Ethics and ministers discipline subcommittee. Missions and evangelism subcommittee. Youth ministries, women's ministries, education and ministerial training, and church planting and growth. All of these are tentative subcommittees. Section 3, accountability. All committees operate under the board of directors' authority. All subcommittees report directly to the executive offices. All subcommittees are required to follow established policies and standards. Cut and dry, all in black and white. Article 5, General Assembly. Composition. All credentialed ministers and elders appointed delegates from every congregation. The board of directors and the executive offices and the bishop. Number 2, the authority. Section 2. The General Assembly elects board members, the bishop, and national officers. General Assembly approves major constitutional changes and amendments. The General Assembly has the authority to receive national reports coming from the organization being represented by the board of directors. And they have the right to receive national reports. So these reports will not be requested by the people. These reports will already be set up and assembled and sent out automatically to inform the people without a need for the people to reach out to the board. These national reports, again, will be made available so that the members have a clear grasp on what it is that the organization not only has, but what the organization has the backing and the resources to be able to take care of. Article 11, election procedures. Section 1, eligibility. All credentialed ministers, delegates, executive offices, board of director members, and subcommittee members, in good standing may vote. Section 2, nominations. The nominating committee presents a slate. Floor nominations require endorsement by 10% of delegates, meaning when their name is given, then there will be a vote on how many people present would like that name to continue going forward. In order to continue, they have to have a vote of at least 10% of all of the delegates in that room. Section 3, voting. All elections are by secret ballot.
That's good.
Yes.
That's needed.
Yes. Number 2, a simple majority elects unless otherwise stated. Simple majority, 51% or more. Voting. I've already covered that. Article 12, two-step proposal process. It's in the Constitution. It is written, cannot get around it. Like all these other things, once it is in black and white, once the people accept it, once the board votes on it and passes it, it is done. It's in black and white. It is etched. It cannot be changed. You cannot violate it. If you do, stand by because you will be held accountable. That's the type of law that any organization should have. Article 12, two-step proposal process. Step 1, local congregational review. Proposals distributed 120 days prior to the General Assembly. 4 months. The congregations in 4 months' time prior to the General Assembly, they should be getting that proposal packet. Why 4 months? Because it allows them time to meet, deliberate, discuss, talk about it, and vote on it. It allows time for it to go back to headquarters, for them to get the results, and for them to assemble whatever is going to be assembled in the proposal committee, for them to get the results. Yes, this is a lot of work, everybody. Yes, I do need some more rest, but this is a lot of work. My rest will come later. We got a lot of work to do, a lot of work, and we don't have a whole lot of time. But yes, I do need more rest. The proposal committee will be responsible for getting all of the results back, organizing those results, and making sure that only the proposals that the congregations voted on passing end up in the General Assembly. And for the first time, the results of every congregation should be put on a form, a list, and sent back out to all the congregations so that the congregations can verify which way the House voted to make it legitimate, Right now, there's nothing that goes to the congregations. The congregations don't know anything that's going on. And it's been this, keep saying I'm not going to do that. But full transparency, and the procedures will be in black and white. 120 days prior, each congregation votes and submit responses. And number 3, must receive 50% approval from the congregations collectively, meaning once all the congregations send their results in, you have to have 50% or more for each proposal to go forward. If there's half of the congregations that say no, other half says yes, automatically it goes on to the floor in the General Assembly to be voted on by them. Step 2, district and national review. District councils review and refine approved proposals. District councils review and refine approved proposals. This is what I was just talking about for the first time, to get legitimacy and transparency, and then results going back out to all the congregations to see the results and to verify them. Final proposals submitted to the General Assembly for a vote. Now, the district council's review, that's statewide. That's not national. We've had a national review board pertaining to the proposal committee. Here, it should be, or it will be statewide if the people and the board passes it. Article 13, finances. Biggie. Congregations contribute national assessments. Now, again, this is just an example. This is not what we discussed. We're in a situation where it's not necessary for congregations to do anything more. It's not necessary. Number 2, annual independent audits are required. Yes. Annual independent audits. Yes. And I see that was my mother and my wife talking about rest. I just saw that. You tell them, Mom. Really? Transparency and accountability is needed. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Nothing should be hidden. Nothing should be secretive. Nothing should be behind closed doors. Article 14, ministers. Section 1, licensing. We may full well have the opportunity for the first time to be licensing ministers in the organization. This was a problem before.
2 weeks, what not?
Huh?
2 weeks, what not?
Why is that? Why was it a problem before? Because there's no training, no biblical training, no biblical background, no biblical anything. You don't have to know nothing. Just saying. Licensing. And then ordinations, that can all be set up locally. That can be set up by the organization. However, there should be training, not just personal training, self-training, self-management, people management skills, management training skills, communication skills, conflict resolution skills. We can go on and on and on about this. Team building, right? All this training, especially number 1, top training should be discriminatory training. Ooh. We got a lot of people just mess up a lot of times because they don't understand what it means to discriminate, harass, and abuse. A lot of people don't even know what abuse is and all the various types of abuse. Licensing, constitution, discipline in the Constitution. Everybody held account. Chairmen, pastors, councilmen, just no more scratching each other's back. Nobody know anything going on, committing all kinds of wrongdoing. Nothing ever happens. Here, you just move you and put you over here, and they just go over there and do the exact same thing or worse. No, it's here. We don't have to worry about that anyway because all of them have already been terminated based on the declaration. I need to add that. But discipline handled by the Ethics and Discipline Subcommittee with appeal rights. After they make their ruling, you can appeal. You can appeal the decision of the Ethics Subcommittee and the Discipline Subcommittee. These should be committees. These are not councilmen. This is not no board of councilmen, a bunch of corrupt men that's over top of everything to scratch the back of the man in charge while they're doing all this wrongdoing and just protecting one another. Nothing can be done because they're just protecting one another. No, the Ethics Committee will not have pastors on it at all if this is all set up the way that I anticipate it might be. The Discipline Committee will not have pastors on that committee if it's set up in a way that I anticipate it might be. These committees should be made up by the people so that when they see anybody in a leadership position break the law, the people are the ones who look at them and say, is this good ethics? Is this good morals? Well, let's see what the penalty should be. Because no, you are supposed to know better. If you are in a position as my example and you messing up, don't look for me to scratch your back. Because the reality is you have been holding all these other people accountable to the law, including making them up as you go. Finding people $5,000 and $10,000, and you take your things and brush them under the rug and hope nobody sees this is a problem. The decisions can be appealed. They can be appealed to two sources. One, the board of directors. Now watch where this goes. The final appeal, you can even appeal after the board of directors. If it goes in the way that I anticipate that it will go.
All of that's contingent on that. Yeah.
But the final appeal go before the people inside the General Assembly. Yes. Because the General Assembly is the biggest, most powerful group in the organization. They always have been. But the people have been lied to for so long that people have no idea what power you have in your hand to go to the General Assembly. People have been going to General Assembly, clapping their hands for some. Oh. The final appeal before the General Assembly. Yes, the members are empowered. You can't take power from the people. The people are your power. Article 10, dissolution. If the organization is dissolved, the assets of said organization shall be given to apostolic, Pentecostal organizations of like faith. Now, this has been an example of what a real constitution looks like. Nothing is hidden. Nothing is under the table. Nothing is taken from the people. And the bishop has the authority to do this. The bishop has the authority to do that. The bishop, for his rest of his entire life, the duration of his lifetime, the bishop cannot be questioned. The bishop cannot be judged. The bishop, whatever he says is final. The bishop, all this stuff is unlawful. It is illegal. Look, I'm going to type something. I'm going to show you. What is that? Chat GPT. That's, yeah.
Yeah. Let's do
I don't be, yeah, Chat GPT. I'm going to just ask a question. I'm going to show y'all the answer. And as far as I understand it, the AI programs, they get their answers offline by looking at everything that's available to the public. Can a CEO of a non-profit organization be elected into the CEO position for the duration of his natural life without another election or vote? Matter of fact, let me add to this. Nonprofit organization, well, that already covers 501c3 as soon as you say nonprofit. And I'm going to add religious organization. And y'all can do the same thing. And you're going to come up with the same answer, I'm sure. But okay. Now, short answer. I'm going to read it and I'm going to let y'all see it. Yes, it is legally possible in some circumstances, but only if the organization's own governing documents explicitly allow it, and state nonprofit law does not prohibit it. Now, I asked that question because I knew what was coming up. Of course they can, if that's what your law says in your book. The problem with our book, as I've been saying, is what?
It's illegal.
It's illegal. Now, how is it illegal? Let me type another question in. Oh, wait a minute. That's what I was going to show you. Oh, you can't see that. No, that's too bright.
They can look it up.
Yeah.
If they want to.
Now, three things. Now, the reason why I'm saying that this is illegal is because the organization has been practicing this year after year after year after year after year, giving the members the impression that is legitimate. But it has been illegal. Now, watch carefully. According to 501c3 nonprofit regulations, and state regulations can a person be elected into a CEO position for the duration of his natural life and not be judged or questioned and have the final say in all cases. Do I want to use that word? Yes, I'll leave it there. All cases of governing matters. Now, what I just typed is exactly what's in our Constitution and the organization. It has been there for the longest time. Now, I'm going to hit send, and can't show it to you, but it's on video. Y'all can rewind this anytime you want. Short answer, no. A 501c3 nonprofit, including a religious one, cannot legally give a CEO unchecked, unquestionable, lifetime power with no oversight. A lifetime appointment may be allowed if bylaws permit it, but absolute, unreviewable authority is not allowed under nonprofit or state law. It is absolutely 100% illegal. Can a CEO be appointed for life? Yes, they can under certain circumstances. We do not fit the bill. All these, what do you see? I'm going to let her say it out loud. What do you see on my screen? What color do you see?
Red X's.
Red X's, meaning no, no, no. And they keep going. Another X, another X, another X, and a yellow sign. Matter of fact, let me just read it to you all. Can a CEO be not judged, questioned, or overridden and have final say in all governing matters? This violates multiple nonprofit requirements. Again, under 501c3, you are under regulatory statutes. So apparently, what I've been saying all this time is true. Let's go further. A 501c3 IRS rule prohibits uncontrolled authority. The IRS requires that a nonprofit, including a church, be governed by a board of directors that has independent oversight. 1. 2, that are responsible for ensuring that there's no private benefit. Private benefit means anything in the organization coming back to me, I benefit from it. And the problem is we have so many things that the bishop benefits from in the organization. Now, I'm not going to go through this list. I'm just giving you a little teeny tiny bit for you to understand that this is some issues that we're about to run into. The IRS requires that a nonprofit, including a church, be governed by a board of directors that 3 can hire, fire, and supervise the CEO. A CEO who cannot be questioned or overruled violates IRS expectations for governance. They risk the organization's 501c3 status, and It is considered a private inurement / private benefit risk. Like I've been saying, it is considered a sign of poor governance. So, in other words, the bishop's decision is not final, never has been final. And if anybody had ever taken him outside the organization to find out, then they would have found out a long time ago that the decisions made by the bishop in the organization is not final. Every decision is questionable. Every decision is also appealable. Giovanni Johnson, no state court, no federal court can make a church change their bylaws. First Amendment law. Oh my gosh, Giovanni, I told you this already. We've been through this. The laws of the church must comply with the laws of the land.
Especially if you're 501c3.
The 501c3 has more laws than a for-profit company. A 501c3 got more laws to abide by. You must comply with the laws. Matter of fact, you're going to find out. You're going to find out like everybody else. I'm glad you're here. But my point is, you are going to find out like everybody else. You can't do whatever here's the point that I'm making. The First Amendment law does not give any church the right to write whatever laws y'all want, and y'all can do whatever the heck you feel like doing, and nobody going to do nothing about it. That's the same thing that you're saying right now. You're saying that the organization can give the bishop the right to do anything he wants. And you said no state court, no federal court can make a church change their bylaws. I had told it's done all the time. Your bylaws, your constitution must be legal in order to be enforceable. Freedom of religion is not the same as freedom of law. That's correct. Thank you, Josh. He said, you have no idea how law works, Giovanni. Yeah, the law, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't give nobody had, or Giovanni, yes or no? Do you believe that a church organization can write whatever they want and do whatever they feel like as long as it's in their laws, and the governing bodies of the land will do nothing about it? Is that what you're saying?
It's okay to abuse the members. It's okay to murder. It's okay to steal.
I was about to go there.
I mean, it don't work like that.
You can't write laws that are contradicting the laws of the land. Yahshua is king. Have you heard that Mr. Cunningham has given all the members with back rent tenants in the apartments eviction notice? No, I have not heard that. Mr. Cunningham is getting himself into more and more. See, I'm trying to hurry up and get this stuff done. He's procrastinating. He's running around. Right now, I've heard from somebody else. This is the second person who told me that I have a restraining order against me to stay off the property's house of prayer. If Mr. Cunningham ever got a restraining order on me, that's going to be another problem.
Why has it not come to our door yet?
But at the same time, right, I don't know nothing about no restraining order. And for the members who keep saying, Brother Lewis, tell the truth, you can't go to the house of prayer. No, I don't know where y'all get this stuff from.
That's so funny.
Everything we're talking about on this channel is truth. Yes, within their church law and the Bible. No, Giovanni, it doesn't work. Oh my
The
gosh.
Bible even says that we can kill, but does that mean we can kill on certain circumstances? If we see somebody as a
Well,
witch.
I covered
Sorry.
that too the last time we had this meeting. Giovanni, it doesn't work that way. And let me keep reading. Let me keep reading so that you'll see I'm reading what artificial intelligence, getting the information off the internet, what they say. A CEO who cannot be questioned or overruled is considered a sign of poor governance. Even churches, here we go, even churches which receive some deference, they receive some liberties from the state and federal government, must still avoid structures that give a single person uncontrolled access to the nonprofit's resources. And what that means is they're saying a bishop who's bishop for his whole life, who can't be questioned about anything, who has the final say, they can do whatever they want with the money. Boom. That's what they're saying. And what's been going on here? They've been doing whatever they want with the money. No questions asked, no prior approval from anyone. No one gave any approval. I'm telling you, Giovanni, there's about to be some problems. Let me keep reading what's on here. State nonprofit corporation laws. Matter of fact, hey, Larry. Are you here, Larry?
He's on.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to.
Make sure you
Yeah.
can hear you.
I want Larry to see my screen so he can confirm for you all that I'm not making this up. But he apparently stepped away from his computer right now. So let me keep reading. State nonprofit corporation laws require board of directors oversight. I've already told you all that a board of directors can be sued if they don't represent the people. You can sue them for neglect of their fiduciary duties. And every U.S. state, every United States, in every state in the United States require that the board of directors ultimately govern the corporation, not the CEO. Every state requires that the board of directors ultimately govern the corporation. Officers, including CEOs, are answerable to the board of directors. That's the law, state law, of which you said will not interfere with church business. Now, state is below federal. If the state says that, I can guarantee you that the federal will back it up. Every U.S. state requires that the board must be able to remove an officer for cause. And if a bishop is put into a position for the period of his natural life and have complete autonomy, whatever he says is final, nobody can judge him. The exact words are, as the Apostle Paul says, only God can judge him. Now, first of all, that's another lie. Paul never said that in the scripture. Anyway, no state allows a nonprofit to eliminate board authority or hand it irrevocably to one person. Joshua says, Giovanni, do a quick Google search. Can a church create laws for itself that go against the laws of the land? I'm telling y'all. The organization, we've been taken for a ride for a very long time. And now we're cleaning this stuff up. A CEO cannot legally override the board. He cannot be immune from review, or he cannot be guaranteed power for the duration of his natural life without possibility of removal. And that's certainly inside our Constitution. This is why some things I wouldn't say because the Constitution has everything in it that we need to prove our case. Even lifetime leaders can be removed for misconduct, breach of fiduciary duties, criminal activity, financial abuse, incapacity, so on and so forth. My point is, the Constitution that we've been under, fraudulent, it's illegal, especially when it's got things inserted into it by 5 people, and you have a lawyer who's still trying to work around the Constitution, and a judge. People, I'm telling you all, we have some serious issues to fix. Final say in all matters violates fiduciary duties. That's the last point. The board of directors must protect the assets of any given organization. This is what I've been telling y'all. This is what we're trying to do. Protect the assets of the organization, of which the bishop and Mrs. Dolores Madison, they have access to the assets, and they've been using it for whatever they want and not doing nothing whatsoever for the people. This is exactly what I've been telling you all. The board of directors must protect the assets. They must ensure the nonprofit serves its mission. The board must make sure that we do what we say we're going to do. The board must supervise the management. If a board delegates all authority permanently to one person, the board itself is violating state fiduciary duty laws. That structure is illegal even if it's written in the bylaws. Larry, please come back. It says it. What you just said, this itself disputes your comment. And I know you mean well, Giovanni, but this is a problem. And for what Yahusha, Yahshua just told us is king, Yahshua is king, this is going to be another problem for Mr. Cunningham. This is, again, every member of the organization need to be standing up to help us fix these issues. Ghost 7X1Q says, AI overview.
Oh, he copy and pasted it.
Oh, they put it on here for you. Mm-hmm. No, a church cannot create laws for itself that violate the laws of the land. While churches have the right to self-governance regarding matters of faith, doctrine, and internal government. And they may be getting ready to put up more. But the point is that this is confirmation. And when you have built apartments or bought property with the funds of an organization that's been given by its members, and then turn around to charge those members and take from them while showing favoritism to others, including self, that's a sure case of personal inurement, personal benefit. Inurement is where you are getting from the organization that you're over. What about religious autonomy? Religious organizations can choose their spiritual leaders, pastors, and bishops without state interference. Yeah, they can do that. But it says, I'm reading exactly what's on here. Corporate governance rules still apply, and the organization must still file taxes properly, avoid private benefit. I keep talking about that term. Keep a functioning board of directors, and they must follow state nonprofit law. A pastor or spiritual leader can serve for life. Yes. A CEO with unchecked legal authority cannot. They cannot do it. This autonomy does not exempt them from complying with the legal requirements of the country. Violate civil laws regarding discrimination, criminal acts, or building safety codes, even if it's religious. Even if his religious doctrine might conflict with them. Yes, absolutely. We've been dealing with a lot of contradictions and conflicts of interest for decades. This is why I'm saying when this gets in front of the people it's going to be in front of to make that decision, whatever date that is that's coming up, they're going to have a field day. And this is another reason why I've been doing everything now for nearly a year to get in front of Mr. Cunningham and the members openly. Anytime you have secrecy and things being done behind closed doors, you can almost every single time put your finger on corruption. Number 3, what is allowed? A nonprofit may allow a lifetime spiritual leader or religious head, that's allowed. A CEO who serves indefinitely until resignation or removal, right? But that specific language has to be in the bylaws. Until resignation or removal, period of your natural life. Go for it. Go for it. But that language still allows the opportunity for you to be removed if necessary. You can't have final say over matters. You can't have a law that says people can't question you. You can't have a law that says that you can't be judged. A CEO who has broad decision-making power under board oversight, that's allowed as long as they're under an oversight committee, known as a board of directors or plainly as an oversight committee. What is not allowed? A 501c3 nonprofit cannot legally have a CEO who can't be removed, a CEO who is above the board, a CEO who cannot be questioned, a CEO with final unchecked authority, and a CEO with absolute lifetime control. These structures violate IRS requirements, state law fiduciary duties, and nonprofit governance rules, all 3. So when I write a declaration for the people saying y'all fired, every last one of y'all, after trying to fight this system for over 2.5 years, what do y'all think outsiders going to do? Are they going to fight against the declaration? No, y'all can't do that. Or are you going to say, no, y'all should have been done this a long time ago? Oh my gosh, Giovanni. The court will not give the house of prayer the right to defend themselves when they're committing criminal activity. They're breaking the law. There is no fight in this matter. Believe me when I tell you, there's no fight in this matter. Anyway, Josh says, you're just trolling now, Giovanni. So that was an example of a real and an accurate and legitimate constitution. And that shows a whole lot more of what we as an organization should have been doing in the first place. So that said, I just want you all to understand what it is that we're working on. I'm writing up a different, brand new constitution where everything's going to be airtight. Airtight. That the members, you all will have the opportunity to read, to deliberate, to discuss, and talk about. Even to add any input, to modify it. The board of directors, going to go through them too. Same thing. This is not something that Brother Lewis is putting into effect. This is not something that I'm replacing our Constitution with. I'm not doing anything at all except helping to guide the trajectory of where we should be going in order to align ourselves once again with the laws of the land, if we've ever been aligned with the laws of the land. But this is definitely going to help the entire organization and every single member. And if there are members about to be put out, then you all need to be emailing me. And if you know somebody who's about to be put out, you need to let them know to email me. Me and Maria, we sit back and we check in messages quite often. But there are some things that can be done, but you need to reach out. Are there any other questions or comments anybody would like to add? Anything anybody would like to touch on pertaining to Constitution or the board or Mr. Cunningham, the bishop of the organization's position, or the former leader? I understand right now he was down in New Orleans. I don't know where he's going next. Apparently, there's a lid on his activity, where he's going, how long he's going to be there, where he's going afterwards, what houses that he's going to, and what it is that he's doing at any given time. All of this, again, it just goes along with the fact that there's a lot of secrecy. I'll say secrecy, and not a whole lot of transparency. So with that in mind, we're just trying to get this wrapped up. I want to, tomorrow, I was going to do a video, and I'm going to say this also in the next video. I was going to do a video next to show how we in our organization has been used and pretty much put out on Front Street and being treated like, the term I used was harlots. I was going to make a video pertaining to this, and believe me when I tell you, it would have hit home. Oh, it would have hit home. But there was a commenter that reached out, made comments the other day after I put out the video about Django, Bettina, and Steven. Apparently they didn't, I don't know whether like is a correct word. Well, I'll use like. They did not like my interpretation of the movie. Either way, their comment is no longer there. And right after, I went and responded again Um, I saw a message pop up that someone was seeking to get my password over in some country on the other side. Anyway, right after that, I did not see the entire stream. I didn't see their comments. My point is this: while reading what they wrote, I began thinking on this between last night and this morning. And rather than put up things that I know is rubbing people the wrong way, many people still going along with, rather than continuing to do that, I'm now going to do everything I can to help our people begin to get up out of this stagnation that we've been in. I'm going to begin talking about some things, touching on some things, relaying some things, but more importantly, getting as many people as possible who are seeking to prepare themselves and help themselves while we go through this transition of turning the organization over. Anybody who's seeking to help themselves and prepare themselves, I'm going to be talking directly to you. And tomorrow, beginning tomorrow, there will be an assessment that I'm going to go through. And each time I do this, I'm going to actually go through the assessment myself live. And I'm going to answer honestly every single question. That way that I put out on the video, you all will be able to actually follow along, and you'll be able to take the assessment yourself. So there will be some self-assessment tests, and I'm sure that you're going to benefit greatly. So anyway, prepare for this. The hope is to begin to pull everyone, members of the House of Prayer or not, everyone out of this stagnation that we've been in, to help us to see things more clearly so that we're no longer coming at one another. We've been put into this situation where it's us versus us. And many of our people don't understand, as far as the members of the organization, how we've been put against one another. And I'm trying to do what I can to get as many as I can to join in, to allow as many as we can to see that we're not against each other. The only thing we have is one another. And the hope is that we can come together and be a unified group of people for the purposes of assisting each other with the help that we need. Because all we have, quite honestly, is one another. And if we don't begin to hold on to one another while seeking guidance from our Father, then what are we doing here? So we don't want to come at each other, even though there may be some differences of opinion here and there. We want to do whatever we can to come together and help one another, benefit however we can benefit each other. And it's going to start with a subject that I'm going to introduce on tomorrow. Couple of questions. Will the board be voting on new pastors in the UHOP? It's a very good question. We had not thought about that yet. I actually was going to throw that on the table to see how we want to deal with that. However, there will be training for every single individual in any position, to include pastors. The current pastors that are there now, they're already dismissed. When all this goes forward, they will remain dismissed. because they did nothing whatsoever to assist the people, and they did nothing whatsoever to stand up for what's right. All we're asking is for people to stand for what's right. We know it's hard. We know it's difficult, but if we can do it, you can do it. And in fact, that's what's necessary in order to bring wrong forward, to hold people accountable to the things that they're doing wrong. And if you're not going to stand up for what's right, well, then why even ask to be in a position in the first place?
Of leadership.
Especially leadership. One of the assessments is also about leadership. There's a litany of assessments coming, and it's to help us help ourselves. Will the board? Yes. Good evening, all. Hello, B. Mevderman. Hello, how are you? Josh, I saw comments that Django analogy was spot on and one of the most eye-opening videos yet. Thank you. I think we did a good job of putting it together to at least allow the characters to shine forward. I think the actors in that movie did an outstanding job of making you believe that this is them. They really brought those characters forward. And we wanted everyone to understand and see that we have these types of characters, not only here, but they're all over the place, right? But we're dealing with this situation here. And it behooves you to consider whether or not you want to follow along and help out Django, or if you want to be a Stephen and follow along and help out the owners. But yes, we think it was a nice job, and thank you. Quite a few people made comments about that as well. Greetings to all my beautiful brothers and sisters. Hello, Jeremy. He's over in the Philippines. Glad that you can join us. Joshua says they sat in silence and did nothing when there was injustice. They cannot be trusted. Talking about the pastors. Exactly. Anytime I have anybody over me, and if I have concerns, real, legitimate concerns, and you do nothing for me to bring my concerns forward so that they can be addressed, that's all I need to know about you. I will not say anything to you. That's all I need to know about you. You will not see me behind you, not following. But yes, absolutely. So there will be assessments for all types of things. Couples, married couples, there's going to be assessments for you as well. Households, parents and children, assessments for you as well. These assessments are going to be for the purposes, again, of allowing us to learn more about ourselves. The more you learn about yourself, the easier it is to deal with anything that you need to let go of and make improvements on. Lastly, these assessments, again, will also include assessments pertaining to leadership. And the things that I'm going to be touching on, they're going to be quite sensitive. Some of you may get upset, but understand, you're at home. One of the assessments has to do with personal behavior. How do we take criticism? The better you are at listening to people who disagree with you, the better you become as a human being and a person when it comes to your relationships with everybody else. I'm sorry?
And if you have a very difficult time accepting criticism, you might need a Am I a Narcissist quiz.
And if you have a very difficult time, she said, accepting criticism, you might need a Am I a Narcissist quiz. Matter of fact, that's a good one. We're gonna have this assessment. I'm Let me jot that down.
'Cause
But-
narcissists never know that they're narcissists
Right,
because they can't.
Right.
They can never think like that.
right. Narcissists do not know that they're narcissists. Okay, that's all I have, everybody. Is there any questions from anyone else or anything anybody would like to touch on? If not, oh yes, typing. So I'll wait a moment. I have again a list of assessments. And for those of you who want it, I put together an entire personal management and development tool. And it has also an assessment with 300 questions. It will tell you things about yourself that you did not know. And all you can look forward to from these assessments is getting better, doing better, being better. With that said, I don't see any other comments. Let me double check. Oh. Am I bringing civil charges? Or I'm not bringing anything whatsoever against the organization. I will not bring nothing at all against the organization. I'm glad you asked that. Thank you. Because way too many members are telling other people all kinds of things that they're not hearing from me, that they're not hearing from anybody else or the board. There's a lot of stuff going around. A woman is saying that I came by her house one morning.
Oh my gosh.
You remember that?
Yeah, you were here. I was the woman. I get no. Actually, it's supposed to be another woman.
Can somebody tell me why the president of the board come by my house this morning? I wish he'd come back by again. Something to that effect. Somebody else.
Just a bunch of
Listen.
nonsense. Crazy, crazy.
Yes,
crazy,
it's. Yeah, y'all don't have to worry about me. I'm transparent. Even if I have a problem with you, I'm gonna look you in your eye. I'm gonna tell you I have a problem with you, and I'm gonna discuss that problem. But this is how we all should be. So, my aim is hopefully to do what we can to come together, and for us to understand more and more and more about prayer and leaning on our Heavenly Father. So with that in mind, throughout the organization, prepare yourselves to just get ready to feel better, to do better, to look better. And as you feel, do, and look better, I guarantee you internally, you're going to be better. You're going to think about yourselves better. And this is going to be the start of the turnaround of some of the issues going on in the organization. So one more time, I'm not bringing any type of charge against the United House of Prayer for All People organization. There will be things that will come out that others have attached the United House of Prayer's name to. And right now, we haven't yet heard of anything from these individuals. But at the same token, we know that there's some activity countering what it is that we're trying to do. And so as a result, all we can do is just keep going forward, putting one foot in front of the other, hoping to keep everybody unified and allowing us to understand where the problems are. This whole thing started out with members, myself and my wife, learning that our leaders has been manipulating the organization. That's how it started. We don't want the leaders to successfully put us at odds with one another to where we're coming at each other's head. Oh, we want to stay watchful and see through what it is that they're doing. Josh, let me talk with them for 5 minutes. I'll tell you if they have narcissistic tendencies. Jeremy, states are going to do that for us. Yeah. What he's saying is bringing civil charges or criminal charges against the House of Prayer. Yeah, we're not seeking anything against the House of Prayer. And even when it comes to the states, they're not going to seek anything against the House of Prayer. One reason why this has taken a little bit more time than normal is because I'm seeking to do things around using the organization's name. This is not against the House of Prayer. This is against the leaders of this organization. All right. Same thing when it comes to the chairmen and the councilmen and the pastors. The leaders of congregations, of states, of districts of the organization. That's what this is exposing. So thank you, sir, for that. I appreciate it. Did I hear you read that any bishop hired will have a term of 6 years? If so, why only 6 years? Yes, you did hear that, but that was an example of a constitution. So the purpose of me reading that constitution as a model is so that the members would be able to see what a real, valid, legitimate, and legal constitution looks like. So with that in mind, yes. Now, I'm going to push for term limits, because the problem here is when an individual gets in a position and they remain in that position after a period of time, if you're not mindful, if you're not watchful, then that individual begins to believe that that is their position. And this is what's happened with the organization when it comes to the bishop. Mr. Cunningham, the former bishop, look at how he treats the organization. He treats it like it's his. My buses. Why is his name on the bus? Why is his name on the bus uniform? Why is his name? Oh. I almost forgot. Why is his name on all these banners? And why is his name so big on all these banners? Why is his name the biggest thing on the banner?
Narcissism. That's all.
Right? And why are we having this program and don't nobody know anything about it? Why we have a parade, not a parade, a gathering with members in Christmas gear doing something in Charlotte with his name out on the street. Again, see, when things like this happen, somebody's going to be answering some questions, because we have too many things taking place that the organization don't know anything about. And the organization is supposed to know about it all. This is what I was trying to bring up the last video. This here is an announcement that's also supposed to be on the website. If I turn it that way, you can read it. And I read it out loud. National Relief Committee.
That's interesting since they're already kicking people out for not paying their rent.
Yeah.
They're going to pay themselves.
You saw my face?
They're going to pay themselves.
National Relief Committee assistance for faithful members. See, this is a question that one of the board members put out. What constitutes a faithful member? Of course, what they're saying is people who paying G-class, who paying love gift, who paying tithes, who going to Sunday school. You out there every night. You're calling on Addie. You're giving your money to Addie. You're riding. The faithful means the people that he don't have a problem with, that the pastors don't have a problem with, because they're doing what he wants. Now, mind you, when that Muslim Islamic mosque, when that woman picked up the phone and called them, they didn't say, no, we only have relief for faithful members. If you're not a Muslim, no, don't come here. They didn't know their name. They didn't know their age. They didn't know nothing about that person. They simply said, sure, come on. No, the house of prayer got to have faithful members, though, to put in applications. Are you facing hardship? We're here to help. If you have been affected by any of the following: Doge termination, loss of federal government wages or contracts due to the shutdown, and delayed SNAP benefits. It says you may qualify for assistance through the National Relief Committee. If you look at the website, you'll see it says scan the link below to register for assistance. And it says your well-being matters. Let us support you during this time. This is a scam.
You got to pay your tithes. You got to be putting into the house of prayer financially.
Right. It's just
not really fair.
It's just another scam. It's something that's put together, in my humble opinion,
Combat what's been said.
to make it look like, I'm sorry?
To combat what's been said on here.
Right. To make it look like that the leaders of the house of prayer is doing something on behalf of the people. That whole thing is designed to make it look like, to the public, in the eyes of the public, that we do something for our people. Now, the bigger problem with that is, why is it that the members of the house of prayer don't know anything about that notification? Anytime before, the leaders would send out letters to the people. And the letters would have on it their agenda, where they're going, what time they're going to be there. And all these spots where individuals have the opportunity to come together and do anything to raise concerns, they haven't been doing anything. And they haven't been doing anything because of intimidation. So now what I'm showing you all is what the law says, so that we all can stand together to heal, to help, to encourage and motivate one another. Not so that we can offend each other. So with that in mind, let me also say, I apologize to anybody that's been offended by me and the things I've said or the things that I've done. I don't apologize for putting the information up, but if what I've said and done has offended you, then I apologize. With that in mind, Bimevdaman says, Ghost, I think 8 years for each bishop with the option of evaluating him at the end of 4 years, I guess. Something like the president. Yes. We can easily set up term limits for the office of bishop. And I think it's best that individuals come out of the bishop seat. So we have a whole lot to consider. Charity organization, only if you pay in. Yes. Look, feds, we have all these people registered for assistance. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that's a problem. So, listen.
Too little, too late, people.
Yeah. It's all a show, like everything else has been. So, stay tuned. Be on the lookout at some point in time by, I want to say the evening. We will have the next one up, but these assessments are going to begin by tomorrow. Also, we will have a set date for our board to have their first board meeting. We're going to be covering quite a bit of information pertaining to where we stand right now and how to at least begin to fix certain things, even if it's starting with the people. The members of the organization, we don't have to give anything. We don't have to do pretty much anything. We can just kind of read you through the video and have you kind of join in with us as often as we do this, and then even track your own improvement, your own self-improvement. And you will be surprised and amazed at just how much you begin to shed when it comes to negative thinking and the things that we've done to hurt ourselves, self-sabotage. All of that said, these things are causing problems for every single member of the organization who is not actually understanding that they're dealing with these traits. So as we go forward, prepare yourselves and get excited. You may want to get a notebook. The assessments, I'm just going to be asking questions. You just jot down an answer. And from there, we're going to be looking forward to doing quite a few things and enjoying ourselves while we do it. That is the next thing. So I want to thank you all. Charity donation, yes, only if you pay in. I want to thank you all and make sure there's nothing else. Yeah, it looks like that's it. And if there's nothing else any further, then we want to say enjoy the rest of your night, enjoy your upcoming work week for those of you who are going to work, for those of you who are in school, and enjoy your time off for those of you who are retired. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your evening as stated, and we will see you in the next video. Have a good evening, everybody.